Alright guys, so after 30 minutes of me struggling to put this on because my back does hurt like a bitch, I finally got it on. It's actually pretty easy. There's two bolts right there for bracket, and it has those clips that you fold over on the bolt when you're done so they don't move. And yeah, that's all finished up. It's all torqued down, and next step I'm going to do is put this bracket on, but not that bracket. I'm going to put on that new one. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Alright, so the front panel's installed. Let me just show you. So there's the low beam and there's the high beam. One thing I didn't show is that I had to actually take out the old light bulbs from the old lights, put them in these new guys. I didn't know how easy it was. I would have changed the LEDs way sooner, but yeah, it's pretty easy. I'm sure there's a bunch of YouTube videos. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just unscrew this backing right here, and then you put in the new light bulb in. The gauge is working, which is nice. The turn signals do work on that, but they're not plugged in, of course. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to put on the front guard. Alright, just installed a new radiator. It's pretty simple. You have two bolts. So there's one big one right here, and then you have one on the other side. Then there's a bolt down at the bottom right here. If you could see, there's like a crossbar right there that goes to the center. It's a big pain in the ass to get to, but it connects to the bottom of the radiator right there. There's two hoses, so you have this bottom one that goes to your pump, and the other side is where your fill neck is. When you get it off, what you're gonna have to do is take off these 3 10mm bolts right here, and plug your fan first. I haven't plugged mine back in yet. Take it off, put it back on. The other thing is to make sure that this is on the bottom when you're screwing it back in, because if you put it on the top, it could come in contact with the fan. You can see it rotates right next to it. So make sure that the flat side of this is on the back side, because you don't want it to be hicking up right there. The other thing is make sure that your fan is rotating right, so it's not hitting anything, it's not coming in contact with anything, which mine isn't. So without further ado, I'm just gonna fill it up and hopefully we can do a first start. Alright, just added coolant. There was some that got on some of the pipes, so it might smoke a little. Hopefully there's no coolant leaks. I don't see any so far, so start it up. Whoops. Alright, so I'm back. The GoPro died and I ended up deleting a lot of footage. But I got the front tire on, brakes are on, I re-bled them. Pretty much this left side's done with the grips and the bar ends. Got rid of the heated grips because they no longer worked. Did the brakes, so they're nice and tight. Brand new brake fluid through the whole thing. Had to put a brand new brake line on there because the other one was broken. I did get the other tire on. That's some of the footage that got deleted, which kind of sucks, but there's a bunch of YouTube videos online how to do it, especially on Cbrs if you want to look for that. It's relatively easy, kind of. If you have a second person, it's definitely helpful. Pretty much what you gotta do is you take off the old one, of course, put on the new spacers if you want, grease up the bar, then this thing is just hovers right there, same with the sprocket, and then you just slide it all back in. Then you torque them down, of course. You loosen these first, and then you tighten them back up, and then use these notches at the bottom to line up your wheel. And if you want to, you can use like one of those Motion Pro straighteners that go onto your chain so you can see if it's straight or not. But I just used the hatchet right here, and it works pretty good. It looks straight. Doing this side too next. I also fixed this guy right here so it's not bent anymore. Pretty much what you gotta do is you gotta take off this bracket right here, and there's like a cotter pin on the back side of this right here. You take off the two springs, one's for the light and one's just to push it back up, and then there's like a snap spring in the back right there too. Take it off. I actually couldn't find a YouTube video of how to do this online for a CBR, so if anyone wants me to explain it, I'm free to do that if you guys want. I gotta fix this too because it's snapped off. I'm just gonna put some tape on it. And yeah, I'm ordered a white upper cowl to match the back one, so it's gonna be black in the center, white in the front. I might just paint it all black. I might not like the white look, but all I had was the red because the black one I had is all beat up. But yeah, it's going pretty smooth. Just got to put on that right fairing, clean up the wiring, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, one other thing, I got to fix that somehow. I don't know if there's like a thing online or whatever, but that's where my license plate bracket used to go. So I don't know if I'm just gonna make something work right here to cover it up so the servo isn't all exposed. Other thing I'm gonna do is relocate it down here. This is where the battery box is, so I'm gonna move up the fuses and then remount the license plate. And the license plate's pretty bent up, so I have to rebend that. But yeah, everything's going pretty good. The front left shock was out of adjustment, so I had to work with that a bit, but it's all good now. But yeah, everything's going pretty smooth. I'll get back to the video. Alright, so the bike's pretty much done. All I have to do is remount the license plate. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but the old one got ripped out right there. There's the the license plate light. Let me just show you guys. So the gauges all are working, lights are working, turn signals. Got the left one right there. Got the right one, which I just installed, right there. Gauge is working as well, left and right. From the back, that's working. Let me show you guys the brake lights. Here's the front brake. Here's the back brake. And here's a cold start.